Hey everybody, it's Ronn Grant, and you're watching Just for the Record. Stay tuned, you're watching 284 Media.
That's some great ideas. So we gonna have some lobster? Hello?
Wait, you had a lunch again? You say you were sick? What happened to our wedding rehearsal?
No, babe. I'm actually watching the news right now. Take a listen.
Topping our newscast today, UFOs seen around Tortola Pier Park.
And District 3 residents outraged over no water supply. They simply cannot bathe. These and more stories when 284 News returns. All right, babe, just get some rest, take 2 Advil, and I'll see you later. Bye.
Okay, honey. I see you later. I love you.
It's clear to see that Coconut Lounge is a place to be, the coolest cocktail lounge in the British Virgin Islands. A lounge like no other, with welcoming, professional service, and a breathtaking ambiance. Not forgetting a diverse selection of wines, beers, and signature cocktails. Cozy, comfortable, contemporary. Coconut Lounge at Tortola Pier Park. Visit us today. Welcome back, everybody. You're watching Just for the Record. We're here with Dr. Natalio Sowande Wheatley. Now, sir, over the years, the voting population has expressed discontent with the inefficiency of government. This has caused many of us to just not want to vote.
Right.
How do you intend on regaining the trust of the public?
Well, I often say a lot of the politicians who have come before me kind of messed it up for me or made it very difficult for me, because I've come across a lot of persons in the community who are disenchanted, disillusioned, they've lost hope. And I just want to tell them, we have to keep hope alive. We have the option, if we're not satisfied with our representation, to elect new representation. And we can't be so cynical that we believe that everyone will be exactly the same. All of us are created differently. We have different gifts. We have different ways of looking at the world. So it's up for the voting public to listen very keenly. Again, the importance of your program that you're doing.
Indeed.
To be able to show the differences among different groups and different individuals who are vying for office, and make a wise choice based on, what's best for our future and what's best for our children's future.
Part of being a legislator is changing, amending, or implementing new legislation.
Yes.
How do you, as an elected official, intend on helping the territory or leading the territory into a more prosperous financial future, particularly just after the very catastrophic events of 2017?
Okay, in terms of the economy, I think there's a lot of things that we can do in terms of the economy. First, I must say, of course, I'm a part of a team, and of course, how the Westminster system works, you'll be a part of a government. So if elected and fortunate enough to be a part of the government and to be able to either be a part of cabinet or the caucus, I would like to see certain initiatives take place. I'm sure there'll be some legislation involved in some of these. Of course, agriculture. I think it's very important for us to revitalize our agricultural sector. Some persons say we don't have the space, but of course, we should at least optimize the space that we have and see how far that takes us. We don't necessarily have to produce everything that we eat, but we should be able to produce something that we eat. For instance, we have chicken. I don't see any reason whatsoever why we can't be completely self-sufficient in chicken. And it's actually healthier for us. We expose ourselves to cancer-causing agents when we eat chicken that's imported, that makes the chicken to grow more quickly, etc. So I think it would be in a best interest in terms of our health and our economy to be completely self-sufficient in something like chicken. And we can look at a lot of other crops that we can do. I just think we should optimize the land space that we have available. Okay. We have a lot of unemployed labor that we can put to work through agriculture. My suggestion is to form an agricultural corporation that would be able to, and we can finance it in a number of ways, whether privately, whether publicly, or a combination of both. And this agricultural corporation would be responsible in investing in, accessing land, all the machinery you need, clearing land, the whole agricultural process. And of course, we need a farmer's market so that we have a market that can buy all the produce from farmers and from this agricultural corporation. and make it available to the public. I think those two things would make a big difference.
No, there have been many persons that have spoke about agriculture in past years, and it has not taken off. What
Right.
would make your attempts different?
Well, in the past, I don't think we've invested in agriculture the way that we should have. There was a difference with Honorable Omar Hodge. He made an investment in terms of greenhouses, but I don't think perhaps maybe he got the structure quite right. It really depended on him as a minister, and when he wasn't around as the minister,
That was the end of that.
then it faltered. But we need to put a structure in place. That's why I'm speaking about the agricultural corporation that can actually invest in the private industry. That's completely apart from government, and it can function regardless of who's the minister of agriculture or not.
Okay.
I believe as well we need a force. And it doesn't necessarily, the farmers, we have farmers who've been farming a particular way for many years. And I celebrate them and I thank them for keeping the culture alive. But the reality is we have to make a transition to commercial farming. And, farmers may not necessarily be owners of big agricultural businesses. You have some persons who might be able to invest in the agricultural industry and they've never lifted a whole peak in their life. So we have to make it more of a commercial operation as opposed to maybe a backyard farming kind of operation, which is good.
Okay.
We encourage persons to do backyard farming as well, but we have to put structures in place, modern structures for commercial agriculture, which I don't think were done in the past.
What does the 7th district, or how will the 7th district look under your leadership?
I would like to see the place cleaned up a lot more.
Thank you very much.
Exactly. I think from a physical standpoint, we have to do a better job in terms of the beautification, in terms of the roads, how the roadsides look, making sure we have sidewalks, landscaping on the sides of the roads. A big problem we have in the 7th district has to do with the sewage. And when you have sewage running in the streets and the place looking, unkept, it can even reflect on the attitudes of the people in terms of, our
Correct.
representatives don't care about me. Perhaps we don't even care about ourselves. So just the way that the 7th district looks would make a big difference. In terms of the sewage, because we did not lay down the sewage pipes, and we've been dealing with the sewage problem for decades now, and we haven't solved it as yet. But we can't do proper roads until we finish laying down the sewage pipes. And really, it's a big disappointment that hasn't been done up until this point. But when you put in the roads, I would like to see that we have some more sidewalks in there. And I think something that can help with that is if we actually bury the electricity cables.
Okay.
And we take the poles and all of these wires hanging all over the place. I think that would help in terms of the beautification. And then we have nice landscaping and sidewalks and things on the side of the road. We have to do a better job of derelict vehicles and things like that litter the 7th district as well as other districts.
Simply taking pride in our district.
Simply taking pride in our district. I would like to form some type of beautification committee to actually go around and perhaps maybe we have buildings, maybe the building, no one lives in it, or perhaps we need to get together with property owners and let's see if we could put a coat of paint on there and have the district looking a lot more vibrant and beautiful. And that would help with the tourism product, because I believe that the district should participate more in the tourism product as one of our 2 pillars.
Well, of course, it's the first place that visitors see once they come through the airport. If they come from that
Absolutely.
aspect of the island, that side of the island, 7th and 8th district, that's the first site that they see.
And it leaves a negative impression. A lot of persons refer to the 7th district and, it hurts me. I cringe every time I hear it. The 7th district has some type of ghetto. And some persons say, well, you don't want to spend too much time in the 7th district because, there's crime and there's, a lot of vagrants and so on and so forth. But I believe under my watch, the 7th district would be an area that we can have pride in,
Great.
something that we can participate more in the tourism product. We have the Quaker burial ground that's on the bush right now. And we have to develop our historical sites. And we have a lot of history in the 7th district. Nottingham Estate is in the 7th district. And this is really one of the first, if not the first, free communities of African descendants in the Western Hemisphere in 1776. Actually, my great grandmother's name is Diana Nottingham, straight from Nottingham Estate, and I have a lot of pride in the history. But a lot of persons who are visitors don't get to see this proud history that we have.
No, we're gonna play a little game, okay?
Yes.
We're gonna have as much fun as we can with this.
Okay.
This is a segment I call I Bet They Didn't Know. Okay? You're gonna give me some short, precise answers. The first thing that comes to your mind is the first thing that I want you to tell me.
Oh, wow, this is dangerous.
Childhood crush.
Childhood crush.
Or celebrity crush.
Lauryn Hill.
Lauryn Hill. All right. Secret talent.
Secret talent. I believe I'm a basketball superstar, but that's mainly in my imagination.
I reckoned. Guilty pleasure.
Guilty pleasure, chocolate covered almonds.
Okay. A luxury you cannot live without.
Luxury I cannot live without. Any kind of musical device.
Okay. Who would you trade places for one day?
For one day, trade places with whoever is dating Lauryn Hill.
Someone from yesteryear that you'd like to take from lunch, particularly Virgin Islands historians.
Lunch, Theodore Faulkner. And
Okay.
that's a big
Interesting.
between Theodore Faulkner and Noah Lloyd. It's a hard choice.
Okay, very good.
But I never knew Theodore Faulkner, so I have to say Theodore Faulkner.
Okay. Explain when you are at your happiest.
When I'm eating chocolate covered almonds, but also when I'm having good conversation.
Okay.
You know, conversations like these,
Absolutely.
I truly enjoy.
Something you wish you were better at.
Time management, if I'm to be completely honest with you, is something I'm working on, and
Okay.
I'm getting better at it.
Are
But,
you a procrastinator?
I work best under pressure. I would prefer to say.
The best compliment you've ever got.
The best compliment I've ever got. That one is a difficult one. The best compliment I've ever got. I get compliments. You know what? Recently, I went to St. George's Secondary School, and the Razor Blades did a fantastic job in terms of their fungi music. And I did my poetry after. And, it was a hard act to follow. And then a little girl walked up to me after and said, "Your part was my favorite."
So that's a wonderful compliment.
Yeah, I've gotten other good compliments in the past, but that's the one that sticks out in my mind right now.
What are you most proud of?
I'm most proud of my children. They are amazing human beings. My daughter and my son, they were this past year top 3 in both of their respective grades. I'm proud of not just their academic accomplishments, but they're truly nice children. They're involved in many extracurricular activities. And, they help me to drive to do what it is I do. I want to make a better society for them and other children.
Amazing. For the persons that might be undecided, they might not be sure, convince them in a few words. Tell them why exactly they should vote for you this upcoming election.
Well, I think you have to give change a chance. We don't know how far we can go until we make some brave choices, and we have a very difficult time in our history right now following the storms of 2017. Our economy was devastated, but we are a very resilient people. But we have to make some very tough choices going into the future. It cannot be business as usual. Financial services is almost peaked. It's peaked somewhat right now. We need to be able to develop other revenue streams to be able to take us into the future. And to be able to do that, you need persons who are visionaries, persons who care. It's just not about who's your family, about who's your friend, about who you go to church with. It's about really persons who are going to put the Virgin Islands in the best possible position going into the future to be able to secure the livelihoods of generations to come. And I truly hope that the voting public gives the Virgin Islands Party, along with myself, the opportunity to be able to be servant leaders to the community.
Dr. Wheatley, just for the record, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
When you need to stay connected with friends and families at home or abroad, the best choice for you is Freedom. CCT Freedom. With the lowest rates in the market, our Freedom plan gives you unlimited calls and texting. Plus, our Freedom One package includes 10 gigabits of super fast, unlimited LTE data and unlimited calls to the BVI, USA, USVI, Canada, Puerto Rico, and UK lines. Why pay for overages when you can enjoy CCT Freedom? Stop by at one of our stores today and speak with one of our representatives to find out more about our CCT Freedom packages.